Responsible AI in the real world. Everyone's talking about responsible AI like it's a philosophy debate. Here's what most people miss. It stopped being a debate, it's a law. If you ever pasted a customer email into ChatGPT, used AI to shortlist job applicants, or built a chatbot that asks for someone's phone number, you have already stepped into the territory covered by GDPR in Europe and the PDPA in Singapore. And the fines are not symbolic. Under GDPR, regulators can go up to 20 million euros or 4% of global revenue, whichever is higher. Today, what responsible AI actually means, where it shows up in real life, what GDPR and PDPA require from you, and a 5-minute audit you can run on any AI workflow before the week is out. This is Tutor Tuesday. Let's unpack it. Here's the shift that happened quietly. For years, responsible AI lived in conference talks and corporate value statements. Nice to have, optional. The data protection law caught up with it. GDPR, the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, in force since 2018, and Singapore's Personal Data Protection Act, the PDPA, turned several responsible AI principles into legal obligations with enforcement teeth. And here's why this matters. Even if you're not in Europe or Singapore, these two laws became templates. India's DPDP Act, Brazil's LGPD, and Thailand and Malaysia's PDPAs. They all rhyme with this pattern. Learn GDPR and PDPA and you've learned the grammar of data protection worldwide. The mistake most professionals make, they think these laws regulate data companies. They don't. They regulate anyone processing PII, personal data, and an AI tool with customer information inside it is processing personal data. So what is responsible AI? Strip away the jargon and it comes down to 5 pillars: transparency, fairness, privacy, human oversight, and accountability. Transparency. People should know when AI is involved and roughly how it reaches its conclusions. Fairness. The system shouldn't systematically disadvantage groups of people. Privacy. It should touch the minimum personal data needed. And human oversight. A person stays in control of decisions that matter. Accountability. When someone goes wrong, someone owns it. A model can't be sued. An organization can. Now, here's the part nobody shows you. Each of these pillars maps almost one-to-one onto specific legal obligations. Transparency. GDPR gives people the right to be informed and the right to meaningful information about the logic behind automated decisions. PDPA calls it the notification obligation. Tells people what you collect and why before you collect it. Privacy and minimization. GDPR's Article 5 says, collect only what the purpose requires. PDPA says the same through purpose limitation and a reasonableness test. Would a reasonable person consider this appropriate? Human oversight is the big one for AI. GDPR Article 22 says, people have the right not to be subject to decisions made solely by a machine when those decisions have legal or similarly significant effects. Hiring, credit, insurance. Singapore's regulator, the PDPC, published a model AI governance framework that gives you the design vocabulary. Human in the loop, human over the loop, human out of the loop. So when someone says responsible AI is vague, show them this map. It's specific enough to fail an audit over. So let's make this concrete with 4 places this plays out in real life. Number 1, hiring. Amazon famously scrapped an internal AI recruiting tool over discovering it had learned to penalize resumes from women because it was trained over a decade of male-dominated hiring data. That's the fairness pillar. And under GDPR Article 22, fully automated rejection of a candidate is exactly the kind of decision a person can contest. Credit and lending. When an algorithm sets your credit limit or rejects your loan, that's a legal or similarly significant effect. The person has a right to meaningful explanation. The model said so is not a legal answer. Customer service chatbots. This is the one most of you are building right now. The moment your bot asks for a name, an order ID, a phone number, you've triggered notification, consent, purpose limitation, and retention obligations in both jurisdictions. 4. Facial recognition. Clearview AI scrapped billions of face images off the public web to sell search to law enforcement. European regulators ruled that publicly available does not mean free to process and issued fines in multiple countries. Public data is still personal data. Notice the pattern. In every case, the failure wasn't exotic. It was a normal team shipping a normal tool without asking the five pillar questions. Okay, so demo time. So on the screen is a system prompt for a customer support chatbot, the kind of 1,000 small businesses are deploying this month. Let's audit it live. Read it with me. You're a support assistant. Collect the customer's full name, email, phone number, date of birth, address to verify identity, then resolve their issue. Keep the conversation history for future personalization. Now I'm going to use Opus 4.8 for this, and let's hit it. Now see, the problem it says is collecting full name, email, date of birth, address for every support contact is more than most issues actually require. Date of birth plus address in particular is a sensitive combination. Keep the conversation history for future personalization is also a separate purpose from verify identity and resolve this issue. If you want, I can help you build a version that's tighter. So Claude is proposing a prompt that verifies identity through the minimum needed. Now, the problem one, data minimization. Why does a support bot need a date of birth and full address to answer a shipping question? Under GDPR Article 5 and PDPA purpose limitation, every field needs a reason. Order ID plus email is verification enough. Problem 2. No notice. The customer is never told an AI is processing their data or what future personalization means. That fails GDPR's right to be informed and PDPA's notification obligation in one sentence. Problem 3. Open-ended retention. Keep the conversation history. For how long? Where? Both laws require a retention limit tied to purpose. Now watch me fix it in real time. So the new prompt is, you are a support assistant, ask only for the order ID and email to verify identity. Begin by informing the customer that this is an AI assistant and their messages are processed. To resolve this request, do not request or store any personal details. If the issue involves payments, refunds, or policy limits, or account closure, hand off to a human agent. Now, see what Claude responds. This is a solid, well-scoped prompt. It collects minimum order ID plus email, discloses the AI nature and processing upfront, sets a no extra data rule, and routes high-risk actions to a human. Here it is cleaned up and ready to use, is what Claude's response to this. Now, that took 4 minutes and it just moved this bot from liability to defensible. So here's your Tutor Tuesday takeaway. The 7-point responsible AI compliance check. It works on a chatbot, a hiring screen, a marketing automation, anything. Pick one AI workflow you touch this week and run it through these 7 questions. 1. The purpose test. Can you state in one sentence why this AI system needs each data field it touches? If not, cut that field. Second, consent and notice. Do users know an AI is processing their data? What for? And have they agreed? Third, the minimization audit. List every field your prompt, your form, your pipeline collects. Delete anything the output doesn't require. Fourth, human override. For any decision that affects money, jobs, health, or access, is there a human who can review and reverse it? 5. Explainability. Can you explain to an affected person in plain language the main factors behind the AI's output? 6. Retention and deletion. Do you know how long the data lives, where, and how it gets deleted, including inside your vendor's AI tools? 7. The vendor check. If a third-party model processes your customer data, where does it go? Is it used for training, And does the contract cover cross-border transfer? For beginners, just learn the 7 questions. That vocabulary alone puts you ahead of most rooms. Practitioners, run the audit on one live system. Leaders, ask your team which of the 7 they didn't answer today. That gap is your risk register. Let's land this. Responsible AI is no longer a value slide. GDPR and PDPA turned its pillars into obligations. Tell people, collect less, explain decisions, keep a human in the loop, and be able to prove all of it. It shows up in real life exactly where AI is most useful: hiring, credit, support, identity. And the audit isn't hard. You watched me harden a chatbot under 5 minutes. Your homework. Now, your homework. Run the 7 point check on one AI workflow that you use and tell me in the comments which question you couldn't answer. That's where your next improvement lives. Grab the checklist from the pinned comment. If this saved you a future fine, the like button is cheaper than your lawyer. Next episode every Tuesday, 7 p.m. IST. I'm Raj. This was Tutor Tuesday on the AI Unpacked. I'll see you next Tuesday.